I have my little screen shrunk down, so it's hard to tell where the button is. So good morning, everybody. Today is September 7th, 2022. We are meeting for the CentOS Automotive SIG, and we have some fantastic news if I can find the share button, because I know I have one. And it's coming up. And the great news is that the CentOS Automotive SIG is 1 year old. Believe it or not, we have been doing this now for a year. So that's actually the first item on the agenda here is it's a happy anniversary. And I think this is it's a great accomplishment for an open source project to, survive its first year anyway. But the number of things that we have accomplished are really just staggering. And I covered all these in the blog post that I'm sure that you all, took to heart and read over and over again. But I wanted to just kind of highlight some of the amazing things that we have done here, because this group started literally with zero. We started with an idea that we needed to come together and create automotive software in public, within CentOS, using CentOS as its basis. And that required a whole lot of thinking and a whole lot of activity. And I cannot claim to have done very much of this activity myself, but I do know that Pierre is here, and Pierre drove quite a lot of this work. Ian, you were definitely there at the beginning and helped launch this entire thing. And this has really just been a great achievement for everybody. We have a distribution as our main output of it's called the Automotive Stream distribution, designed, launched, and created and launched. It runs on QEMU, it runs on x86, it runs on a Raspberry Pi 4, which I have right over here on my desk running it. There are nightly images. There are nightly images for a number of use cases, some of which are even brand new as we speak, that we'll go over later in just a moment. Obviously, we have a GitLab repo. We have CI running on every merge request. We have some fantastic documentation. Thank you, Laura and Alex. I guess Alex isn't here. And everybody else who has contributed to the documentation, because that really is the only thing that enables people to know how to use the wonderful bits that we're creating. We use a dist-git layout to enable a very consistent developer experience. We have the look-aside cache implemented with the same structure as Fedora and CentOS. Sorry. Go ahead. Hello? Sorry.
Joe, are you speaking to us?
Sorry, there's some noise here. Sorry.
Okay. No worries. We have our mailing list, we have Matrix chat, and we have these monthly meetings with a vibrant community, some of which I think are out on vacation today. So that is really just a sampling. There's a lot of technical achievements that we've done over the years too. Pierre, I don't know if you wanted to cover any that I have missed, but it's really just a fantastic achievement overall.
No, it's I think you've said it. It's been a nice teamwork, and it's been a nice team to work with. So thanks, everyone.
Yeah.
I'll just emphasize first of all, this is actually being used as a touch point for people who are considering using Linux in automotive, actual OEMs. So we're still not necessarily getting as much public visibility of that, and that's not entirely unexpected, because we know this is a more of a cautious industry. And also that being able to essentially replicate the stream relationship, so where we have CentOS stream feeding into RHEL, and then being able to mirror that thus far with just our kernel, but also establishing a pattern for mirroring that with automotive is really, really great. And I feel like we're only at the beginning of seeing the benefits of having done that with RHEL, and with Stream, and it's great to be able to dovetail off of that. So just wanted to get that into the spoken record. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. I very much appreciate that. And we've actually have contributed back into CentOS Stream in this process as well. You know, we're not just operating in a vacuum, and yeah, very proud of everybody. And another great year. Looking forward to another great year as we move forward. Speaking of which, let's dive into the technical status update for this time. Things have been a little bit slow due to vacations. Obviously, that I think is going to wind up very quickly because September and October seem like conference. You know, there are several conferences going on that are related to automotive and to Red Hat's activities that we'll be at. Um, the nightly images are available now. There is actually a Sophie image building nightly now. I have downloaded it. I have not yet run it, but I'm planning to actually right after this meeting while I'm listening to Philip talk at the ELISA Summit, which is great. There is also a new document on boot time optimization that is part of the documentation. It's work in progress, it looks like. Pierre, do you know who contributed that?
This is the work from Eric and Stefan Denegan.
Oh, okay, good. So yeah, there is always something new going on. Is there anything else you'd like to cover while we're on the topic of technical status?
It has been very quiet. The new doc on boot time optimization is definitely the latest one. We had something which Alex sent to the SIG mailing list recently, which I'm realizing now is not here. Android boot support for Android boots, so AB boot, the Android bootloader, basically how to boot the sample images using the Android bootloader, and that's something that has been added to the sample images and that you can already see and use. So there is also documentation on how to do that. And the last one, which I need to work on, is still on my to-do list, is just a one-pager on how you can build sample images on a Mac M1, so
right.
Silicon Mac, so an ARM64 based Mac on running Mac OS. But you could install Fedora on this, but that would be a little bit too easy then.
I think that'll be very valuable. I know that a number of people who want to do actual software builds they need some performant hardware, and the Raspberry Pi doesn't quite cut it. So being able to build on an M1 would be really useful.
It won't be complex. It's going to be VM based. You'll get. I think we can get one of the AutoSD images, put it on QEMU, and do your builds there. That would be that simple.
Makes sense. Makes complete sense. Okay. In the spirit of a short meeting, that is really all that I had. Hardware availability is something that I thought we might discuss if anybody has any insight into that. I know that Raspberry Pis are still about, they're still experiencing a rarity in the market. And I have a sinking feeling that is going to continue. Obviously less concerned about Raspberry Pi going into an actual automobile and more concerned with the state of the silicon world at large. Although speaking of that, one thing that I have just heard from the RISC-V community is that there is an automotive SIG starting up underneath the RISC-V international banner. So I will be joining that, and I will report back for those interested in alternative hardware. Other than that, is there anything anybody would like to bring up? Any discussion points? Pain points? I know you're all probably downloading and running the nightly build on a daily basis on your Raspberry Pis. But it doesn't matter if you're not, because we are doing daily testing too. So So, okay. Well, as I said, I thought this would be a short meeting. It's going to be a little bit shorter than I expected. And that's totally fine. We will meet up again next week. Ian brought up some very interesting talking points that I thought we might cover. They seem to be more appropriate for office hours, so we might get office hours started up again. For those who don't remember, that's a meeting that happens alternative to this one. It's a monthly meeting, but it happens 2 weeks separately from the formal SIG meeting, which is this one. And we shall keep going. Carry on. All right. Well, I'm going to go and pour myself some more coffee and then go listen to the ELISA Summit, which is free. If you feel like joining it, go to elisa.tech and the link should be there. And otherwise, I will see you all in a couple of weeks at the office hours. Take care, everyone.
Thanks. Bye.